David Bowie, obviously, of Ziggy Stardust, and the Spiders from Mars, actually. So, all inclusive. How are you? Seinfeld or Curb? Love them both. I mean, I think Curb is a bit more, it pushes it a little bit more, but Seinfeld, no slouch. Both great. It's not a competition. Right, questions. From straight away. Now, I'm not going to get to all of these. I've got hundreds. So I sort of find them and put them in on a little list and I'll just go through them. So I won't get to all of them. So apologies. Eyes are stinging. Yes, I had a hot bath with bubbles. I didn't have a bath with bubbles. Me and Michael Jackson's chimp. I meant with right, Joey the cat. What's your favourite thing about Liverpool? It's difficult to say. I've only played it a couple of times. I'm playing it a third time, but I don't really see the city, particularly when I'm there for one night, which I often am. So of what I've seen, the best thing about Liverpool was the audience. They were fantastic. Listen, all audiences are great. But yeah, there's certain places that seem to be one louder. Dublin. First time I played Dublin, definitely seemed louder. So, yeah, I think the crowd, and they're all about that, aren't they? They're all about entertainment and comedy, and also I think that it's a real place, sort of real people doing real jobs, and you know what I mean. So I think humour is sort of in their blood. So yeah, I'd say the audiences. I could be talking. I don't know. Some people go, no, the best thing about Liverpool is the pubs or something. I don't know. I haven't seen those, but I really like playing there. Keena, where do you get your inspiration when it comes to creating the female characters in your shows and movies? I mean, the answer is always real life. I mean, you can ask me any question about my influences, comedy, stand-up, films. It's always real life first, isn't it? And I particularly like realism, and I particularly like writing about ordinary people and real things. I don't really do fantastical stuff. I mean, I love it. I love sci-fi and things like that. But I sort of do. I do modern dramas about ordinary people mostly. It's all about the human condition. All my stuff is about things that are great about us and bad about us. I laugh at humanity, good bits and bad bits. So, and I was brought up with and by women, really. I think I saw my mum 10 times more than my dad, if you know what I mean. He was out all day, and I had a sister who she taught me to read at 3. I mean, I think my nieces outweigh my nephews by about 5 or 10 to 1, and all my family were sort of carers. So like Derek, I got from them. Also, I like. I've always thought that often in films, rom-coms, Hollywood rom-coms, sitcoms, women are usually props for men. Men are the ones that get the best lines, or if the women get the best lines, it's because they're dim, or you know what I mean. So I've always been careful to show that women are three-dimensional, and particularly stuff like Derek and Afterlife. I like that women as sort of lionesses, that they're doing the work. They're doing as much work as men, and they don't get time off because they're sort of keeping the world together. But yeah, like Hannah, I made her, you know, nice and empathetic and caring, but she didn't mind people. So I don't know if that answers your question or not. Ah, my computer's died. Oh, there it is. It didn't die, it's just that all the buttons have gone wrong. I think it's like breakfast. Crumbs. Crumbs in the computer. The key stick. That space bar I have to press really hard. So some of I'm writing, I'm not looking, my sentences are all one fucking word. So I have to go back, fucking press the space bar a bit more carefully. It's definitely a fucking crumb or something. Jessie Cat. Yeah. My question is, if you were a cat, which part of your body would you enjoy washing the most? For me, oh, you are a cat, I see. For me, it's definitely my front right paw. Well, yeah, but you have to do that, don't you? Because you're not just washing that, you're using that as a sort of flannel or a loop. Like there's bits that you wash and then you wash your paw, but then you use your paw to do your ears, don't you? So I think I'd say ears, because I think a cat looks cool when it does that. You know what I mean? You don't look so cool when you're trying to do your back or you're going forward. Would I have my back or a cat's back? Because if I was a cat and I had my back, there's bits of me that would never get washed. Yeah, if I was a cat, I think behind the ears. I'd have the cleanest ears. Normal. Sharon Midnight Moon. Have you performed at an open air stadium before? I'm doing the Hollywood Bowl. If yes, how did you find the atmosphere? If you know, are you worried it will affect the atmosphere? Thank you. I'm worried about so much stuff. I haven't really. I have played open air things like stadiums and festivals before, but not as me as the only act. I've been, you know. So this is the first time that I've sold it out and it's just me. But yeah, I am worried. I was worried about everything. I was worried about it raining. My promoter said, it hasn't rained for 3 fucking years when we booked it in LA. I'm worried about, can they hear at the back if the wind changes? I'm worried about all these things. I'm worried about I can do a sound check, but it'd be light when I check all the lights and stuff, and then it'd be dark. So what if I get out there and I've got it wrong and it's dark, but the floodlights are in my face and I can't see? So yes, I do worry about everything. I'm trying to stop doing that because I try and have a plan B, C, and D. I can't. I think the world's out to, you know, get me. And what I've got to do is think I'll do that, and if something goes wrong, I don't care. But you can't make yourself be what you're not. Do you know what I mean? So yes, I worry about everything. I worry about things that are just ridiculous. I worry about 1,000-to-1 shots. But I'm looking forward to it. I've just got to do it and enjoy it, and be about the event. So yeah. If Jolette, if you could bring back one of your former child cats, if you could bring back one of your former cats to be Pickle's friend, which would you choose and why? Oh God, they're all lovely. Okay, I've got a decision. I've got a reason. I think I'd have to bring back Colin because we didn't have him long enough. We rescued him, and I think he died about like 4 or 5. Had a little brain hemorrhage, so he didn't live long enough for my liking. So I'd bring back Colin, the big, fat, dim, black and white thing. I'm saying it's she. It was a she. I think every cat we've had is a she with a boy's name. Wilf, Colin, Ollie. And is Ollie, can Ollie be a girl's name? Doesn't matter, does it? Doesn't matter. And Pickle, that's not really a gendered name at all, is it? Pickle. It's got male connotations. So yeah, Andy Hughes. What is your favourite venue you have played, either here or abroad? Can't wait to see you in Liverpool. Liverpool's getting a few mentions, isn't it? I love the warm-ups. I love the Leicester Square Theatre. It's only 400. I do all my warm-ups there, and that's great. That's just a really great venue that's all packed. I don't think you can beat a Victorian theatre of most sizes. They're all packed in. It's all soft furnishings like velvet. It's all, you know. I like it dark. I like it blackout. I can't see the audience. I have the lights on, and that seems the best. But I like playing the big places as well. And I probably play more of those abroad than here because I can only go for one night, if you know what I mean. So I try and venues. If it's just about the venue, I think the Olympia in Paris is pretty magical. I can't put my finger on it why. I think those rock and roll venues are great. Massey Hall in Toronto was amazing. So yeah, but I only go to places I love, if you know what I mean. But yeah, Victorian theatres are still the best. But the stadiums have got bigger now. The arenas and whatever, they've got better now. The sound's better. They've got huge screens. They're better than they were. Meg, are the Foxes back? Any minute now, I reckon. I think we heard them mating a few weeks ago, and like last year they just appeared as like, I don't know, 4 weeks old. I don't know. So I think hopefully we're gonna see some tiny little cubs soon. I'll keep you posted. Sue, question request. You can choose. Please can you tell an old 70s joke, or play the guitar, or in a drain? For whole time's sake. No, if you if you just tuned in and you've seen someone requesting me do in a drain, what must you be thinking? I can't play the guitar. It's there. I'll have to turn round. An old 70s joke. Oh God, an old 70s joke. Like a silly, childish one. The chicken who went to the library, and he went up to the counter, and the librarian went, "It's weird, chicken in the library," and the chicken went, "Bark, bark, 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 bark." So this is not like my stand-up, by the way, right? And the librarian went weird, but we wanted the book. Chicken gets the book and goes off. Comes back the next day, puts the book down, and he goes, "Bark, bark, 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 bark." Librarian wants another book. So I go with another book, and he goes off. Next day he comes back, puts the book back, right? And goes, "Bark, bark, 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 bark." And the librarian, he goes up, the librarian goes, "I'm going to follow him, see what he's doing with these books." So the librarian sort of follows him. The chicken's going along with this book. He follows him down the road, across a field, through the woods, goes to a sort of pond, and there's a frog. And the chicken gives him the book, and the frog goes, "Read it." All right? Good. Right. Glenn, would you do a Vegas residency for a year? No way. Instead of touring. Oh. I suppose, actually, that's quite a good idea, isn't it? So they all come to me. I don't move for a year. You can just pop down every night from your penthouse. Jane and Pickle go with you. Well, if I was there for a year, I wouldn't live in a hotel. I'd rent a house or something. a year's a long time, just doing it. I mean, I couldn't. I mean, I could maybe do it for a month, one day maybe. I don't think you understand how lazy and tired I am. But I like the idea. This is how lazy I've got, right? This time, right, after COVID and after I'd got the Supernature filmed and all that, I thought I'd got to start again. I actually thought, what if I bought a theatre or built a theatre in Hampstead? I actually started looking if there's a building I could convert into a theatre and just play there every night. There wasn't. But anyway, it was a thought, wasn't it? Maybe one day. Ollie Afterlife. We all know you as a writer, director, comedian and animal advocate. But tell us about you as a painter, your style, your process, your thing. I'm not a painter. I'm just not. I'm embarrassed. I've done a few paintings. And, I mean, 1 in 10 I might like and put up. And I'll go over until I find it. But it's pretty random. I've got no skill or... I mean, I've got a bit of a style. I've got the things I like. I like sort of nearly abstract, and I like Turnery type colours and dark, sort of ominous. But honestly, if it comes out right, it's luck. But I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. It's like chess. I like it when it goes well, and then I can. Oh, why did I do that? That's rubbish. What annoys me is I haven't got the skill to put on the canvas what's in my head. So it's sort of luck. But yeah, I enjoy it. Betsy the Rescue Beagle. Here's my question. I'm fascinated by the long railway line in your short film. I post a little picture, I'm doing a short film. Well, I've done it. I'm editing it tomorrow. I would love to know what you're planning. Is it one of those silent movies where people travel up and down the railways, like one of those things? No, it's just a short film. It's 10 minutes. I won't spoil it, but I really enjoyed it. In fact, that's another thing I was thinking. Maybe we could just do short films because it's only one day filming. It's called 7 Minutes, so look out for it. But yeah, it's fun. Right. Question: Gonzo the cat. What does Weetabix and water taste like? #Afterlife. In Afterlife, my character, he's got the end of the sort of Weetabix, whatever it is, all that stuff at the bottom. And he's got no milk, and he just puts water on it, and I drank it. For real, obviously. It doesn't taste of much, actually. It's horrible, though, because it's the texture. It's, like, cold. So it's like... It's sort of like a cross between sawdust and wet biscuit. You know when you've been dunking biscuits, and it's dropped off and you didn't know it, and then you drink the last bit of tea and the biscuit goes down. It's like that. Again, I don't know if everyone around the world dunks biscuits and then drops one without knowing and then drinks their tea with a biscuit in it. I'm sure I'm sure that must have happened to everyone. I used to get through a packet of biscuits by myself. When I was on the dole, I used to go to the shop and get a packet of like custard creams or hobnobs if I could afford them, and have a cup of tea. I'd get through a whole packet. I know what you're thinking, Rick, you're an athlete. How did you keep your figure? Don't know. Once, right, I think someone asked me that question, and I said, I'd like to be thrown to the lions at London Zoo and just see loads of sort of tourists going, is that the bloke from The Office? Just naked and then pulling his apart, right? Anyway, a journalist must have been listening. And so, like, a few weeks later, there was a story in the paper, and the headline was something like, London Zoo refuse Ricky Gervais' permission to be thrown to the lions. Like I was serious. So this journalist he must have known I wasn't serious, right? But he called up London Zoo and asked them if I'd be allowed to do that. And they said, no, of course not. So it made me look like a fucking maniac. Like, I seriously... Oh, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if that's what happened. It might be a good idea. I mean, the thing wrong with that is that lions shouldn't be in zoos. That's the main thing about that. Don't put fucking lions in zoos. But, yeah, I wouldn't give a fuck if I was... But I wasn't serious, was I? Fucking hell. You got to watch what you say. I should, really, shouldn't I? I should try that one day. I should try watching what I say. See how that works out. Right. The Mel Toffee and Fudge. If a member of the royal family wanted to come to one of your gigs, who would you like to come, Mr. Ricky? Well, they have actually. William and Harry came to one. I think Harry's been to more than one. I think he's been to 2 or 3. And I remember once he brought William along, and we had a drink after and everything. Yeah, one gig, it was William and Harry, at the back, right? William and Harry, with their 7 security, Madonna and Paul McCartney. Not one of them paid. Right. Yeah, we've got through this, haven't we? Leopold and Loveday. Look, we're on Lions and Tigers. Lion versus Tiger. Who wins? Oh, God. Like Derek. Who would win out of a lion and a tiger? What? Who would win out of a hippo and a rhinopotamus? What? Who would win out of a mammoth and a tractor? If a mammoth was angry. What? Who would win? Who would win out of a whale and 3 sharks? Don't know. Who would win out of a lion and a tiger? Oh, I think tigers might be slightly bigger. And, I don't know. Lions, aren't male lions a bit lazier than... Don't they let the females do the hunting? They just sit back. Maybe the male tiger's a bit fitter. He's a bit more... You know what I mean? The lion might be a bit ring rusty. He hasn't had a fight for a while. I mean, I don't know why they'd meet. Who's arranging this? Don King. Who's? There probably is somewhere where they do that, isn't there? They probably did it in the Roman times, didn't they? They used to have all sorts of things for each other. Neither of them would come off really well, would they? Neither of them would... It wouldn't be one punch and you're out. I think they'd probably both die of their injuries. But I suppose who gets the neck first, isn't it? I'm taking this way too seriously. I'd go the tiger, if I'm right in that they're a bit bigger. But my advice is don't f animals for a laugh. Well, that was an absolute load of bollocks, as promised. Old time's sake, isn't it? Me wiping my eyes after a bubble bath. Not a bath with bubbles. Good. Thanks to everyone who bought a ticket. Absolutely mental. As I've tweeted, I never take it for granted. To sell out arenas in your own country is one thing, but to sell them out around the world, that is really fucking mental. I can't believe the response. I can't believe that they sell out in minutes and people want another one. It's absolutely amazing. Incredible. I never take it for granted. I always want to get the gig, the show's so good. It's going really well. It's funny, isn't it? You play arenas around the world. You play to like hundreds of thousands of people every year, right, around the world. It goes great. They love it. Everyone there loves it. They paid their money and they love it. And then some snotty fucker in a posh paper goes, bit lazy. This has just sat down. He's thought about it for about 20 minutes. 3 stars. You can. Tatty bye, everyone. Tatty bye.
The best way to increase society's resistance to insulting or offensive speech is to allow a lot more of it. My starting point when it comes to the consideration of any issue relating to free speech is my passionate belief that the second most precious thing in life is the right to express yourself freely. The most precious thing in life, I think, is food in your mouth, and the third most precious is a roof over your head. But a fixture for me in the number 2 slot is free expression, just below the need to sustain life itself. That is because I have enjoyed free expression in this country all my professional life and fully expect to continue to do so. Personally, I suspect highly unlikely to be arrested for whatever laws exist to contain free expression because of the undoubtedly privileged position that is afforded to those of a high public profile. So my concerns are less for myself and more for those more vulnerable because of their lower profile. Like the man arrested in Oxford for calling a police horse gay, or the teenager arrested for calling the Church of Scientology a cult, or the cafe owner arrested for displaying passages from the Bible on a TV screen.
When I approached stand-up, my mission statement was to try and be as funny as you are in the pub. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So I didn't want it to be too, tricksy, or I played a slight persona because I always do that anyway. I do that. We do that here, So it was saying the wrong thing for comic effect, or being naughty, or trying to get people to laugh at things they didn't know they could. And I've always doubted taboo for that reason, because I think it's more exciting.
Sure.
You want to take the audience to a place it hasn't been before. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and get them to laugh at things they didn't think they would enjoy.
Exactly. And this show is all about that. It's all about, there are no bad subjects for jokes. It depends what the joke is. We've talked about this a lot, and I talk about the most taboo subjects, and I discuss them and then give an example to joke. And by the end, they're cracking up, and then knowing they get it. They sort of get, oh yeah. If you start off with a joke in that subject, it's, why has he done that? Because they don't know where you're coming from. And that's the other thing about this tour. People know me now, so they know what I'm doing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
A friend, like a mate knows you don't mean it. These 5,000 strangers every night, no, I don't mean it.
Right.
Do you know? So
they know what they're in for. They know what to expect. They know what they're in
for, and they love it. And it's almost like they're going, "Oh, he's always done this, but I don't think we quite got it before." Well, I think that's because I can justify it. I'm not one of these. I'm not one of these comedians who goes, "Oh, it was just a joke," because I don't really do that. I think it has to stand up on its own, comedic legs. And I talk about this, that, offence is often caused when people mistake the subject of a joke with the target. They don't look at the joke. They've been told this ridiculous dogma that some subjects shouldn't be joked about, which is the nonsense. And I get asked, is there anything you won't joke about? And I think, well, you're a journalist. Is there anything you won't write about?
Right.
It depends what you write. And it's funny, because whenever I've done a joke about a really contentious subject, or, and it's discussed on the radio the next day, I'm going, but you're talking about it.
Yeah.
You're talking about it. Because they assume I'm coming in from the wrong direction. They assume I'm punching down, and they assume I'm making fun of whatever the victim is in this joke.
Right.
Which isn't true. Because a joke about something, it doesn't have to be pro or anti. It can be either. It can be neither. It can punch nowhere. It can be a pun.
Right.
It doesn't. You have to take every single joke on its merit. Picked on the wrong person there, but I did a joke at the Golden Globes, and they were saying it was transphobic, and I said, why? And they said it was about a trans person. I said, well, that's like saying a joke about Bill Cosby is racist.
Right.
It depends what the joke is. It wasn't transphobic at all. The joke I told at the Golden Globes, I came out, and I said, all the actors are looking at me all nervously, brilliant, and I said, relax, I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner.
That's
obviously.
funny.
And I go, now Caitlyn Jenner, and what a year she's had, became a role model for trans people everywhere, bravely breaking down barriers and destroying stereotypes. She didn't do a lot for women drivers. So the subject of that joke is clearly stereotypes.
And by the way, like, the thing that people should, even if they're going to take umbrage with something, it should be like, wait a minute, wasn't that a thing? Somebody died in that car accident that he's referencing.
Yeah.
But nobody even picks up on that.
No, I discuss it. I say, let's not forget the target of the joke is a celebrity someone in their car.
Yeah. And they also said you dead named, Travis reminded me that you dead named just because you said Bruce. I talk about that as well, dead naming, which is ever saying that her old name and that she used to be a man, yeah. And then I say, but she was. And then I do it the thing about she was in the Olympic Games, and I act out, you know. And so, and I say, you know, and I was second, you know, my second crime was saying that he'd changed, because they say, you know, people, that she hasn't changed, that she's always identified as a woman, and so that, you know, she had gender realignment. And I discuss it in the live. I discuss all the criticism of me, and then I say my piece, because I think it can be funny to deconstruct, particularly when you're the butt of the joke, or you're, you know, and so I always try and keep it fair. I don't ever do a sleight of hand where I say something that's a lie or to make myself look better in a joke. Right.
You know, I think that's really important. I think that, and then once you've done your best and you've explained it well, people are still going to make their own mind. They don't have to like it. They don't even have to get it. But someone not getting your joke isn't your problem. It's theirs. Brilliant. Why isn't it your responsibility to get the joke?
Yeah.
That's a great. And the other thing I get is whenever, like in the press, a joke of mine is discussed as being offensive, I don't mind that at all. But when they get the joke wrong, that drives me mad. I go, well, no, that's not the joke I said. That isn't a good joke. A joke should be perfect. Every word matters. It's like a cryptic crossword clue. Every word matters. It's a little piece of poetry, right? So if you get one of those things wrong, you can the whole joke. The answer is, again, it depends on the joke. I really break it down. It's so much fun. It's such a great platform to be able to put your side forward and discuss humour in a funny way. And so you're taking them along with you all the way. You're explaining. They're hearing every word from your side, and then you know, and it takes a long time to explain what humour is to someone, if they or freedom of speech, or this is the reason is the more terrible and emotive the subject, the harder it is to get over the hump about a joke about it.
Right.
Yeah.
We can joke about, you know, people joke about, and people get it. They go, you know, which is horrendous. But they can't take that personally, because they haven't personally been. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you do something that touches someone or a group of people, and it's, you know, it's very, very emotive. It's hard for them to get over that. The number of times people have seen my stand-up, and I've had one complaint. I did the first time I played Madison Square Garden. I got a complaint from a Jewish society saying, we loved the show, we loved all the we were however unhappy about a routine about Anne Frank, and they told me it's like, I said, but you got the jokes about famine and cancer and AIDS, and you got those, you know. I said, I'm doing the same thing with her as I did with those things. I'm saying the wrong thing. And they went, oh yes, yes, okay, we understand it. And sometimes you do need that, and I don't begrudge people because they're not attuned to it. We think about these things every day. A 30-second joke, we've probably put 3 hours work into it. Do you know what I mean? Or thought about it, or introspected, or so. We are presenting them with a finished item, but that's the tip of the iceberg. And so sometimes they do have to get over there. It's hard to, by definition. to see your own blind spot, because everyone's got their thing they don't want to joke about. People say things, are you ever offended by things? I go, I'm offended every day. I'm offended by loads of things. I'm not immune to being offended.
You just don't want a penalty imposed.
Well, exactly, yeah.
You avoid the things you're offended by.
Yeah, that's the other thing about today. People think that they have the right, because they don't want to hear something bad, that it's their right to shut you up, as opposed to it's their right not to listen. And that's the confusion as well. And it's not that I think I'm bulletproof, or I don't care, or they can't do anything about it. Although all those things are true. No. If I'm not breaking the law and they're not coming to my house, who cares? It's virtual,
right,
you know. It's not that. It's that I'm confident in that I've done right. I don't think I've done a really bad thing and I can get away with it. F you. I think, no, I've done a right thing here. I justify every one of my jokes as an okay thing to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not saying, because that doesn't make sense. I can't say, yeah, I do bad things, but so what? I wouldn't do them if I thought they were bad things. So I'm disagreeing with them that what I've done is a bad thing. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
And I try and get across to people that jokes about a bad thing isn't the same as the actual bad thing. It's not even condoning the bad thing. It could be anti the bad thing. Otherwise, we wouldn't have satire and irony. Yeah, well, so I think sometimes it depends. Some people are just trolls. Some people just want to ruin your day. They get in the way. They jump in the way of a bullet and say, "Why are you shooting at me?"
Yeah, and people love to be martyrs.
Oh, they think everything's personal. I don't even know they're following me. I don't know these people. I'm just tweeting, and they take it personally. They go, "Why are you tweeting?" I'm not tweeting you. You've come to my house, knocked on my door, and said, "Why are you talking to me?" Well, I'm not. So
when I heard of some of these more ludicrous offences and charges, I remembered that I had been here before in a fictional context. I once did a show called Not the 9 O'Clock News some years ago, and we did a sketch where Griff Rhys-Jones played Constable Savage, a manifestly racist police officer to whom I, as his station commander, is giving a dressing down for arresting a black man on a whole string of ridiculous, trumped-up and ludicrous charges. The charges for which Constable Savage arrested Mr. Winston Kadogo of 55 Mercer Road were these: walking on the cracks in the pavement, walking in a loud shirt in a built-up area during the hours of darkness, and one of my favourites, walking around all over the place. He was also arrested for urinating in a public convenience and looking at me in a funny way. Who would have thought that we would end up with a law that would allow life to imitate art so exactly? I read somewhere a defender of the status quo claiming that the fact that the gay horse case was dropped after the arrested man refused to pay the fine, and that the Scientology case was also dropped at some point during the court process, was proof that the law was working well, ignoring the fact that the only reason these cases were dropped was because of the publicity that they had attracted. The police sensed that ridicule was just around the corner and withdrew their actions. But what about the thousands of other cases that did not enjoy the oxygen of publicity, that weren't quite ludicrous enough to attract media attention? Even for those actions that were withdrawn, people were arrested, questioned, taken to court, and then released. You know, that isn't a law working properly. That is censoriousness of the most intimidating kind, guaranteed to have, as Lord Deer says, a chilling effect on free expression and free protest. Parliament's Joint Committee on Human Rights summarised, as you may know, this whole issue very well by saying, while arresting a protester for using threatening or abusive speech may, depending on the circumstances, be a proportionate response, we do not think that language or behaviour that is merely insulting should ever be criminalised in this way. The clear problem with the outlawing of insult is that too many things can be interpreted as such. Criticism is easily construed as insult by certain parties. Ridicule easily construed as insult. Sarcasm, unfavourable comparison, merely stating an alternative point of view to the orthodoxy can be interpreted as insult. And because so many things can be interpreted as insult, it is hardly surprising that so many things have been. as the examples I talked about earlier show. Although the law under discussion has been on the statute book for over 25 years, it is indicative of a culture that has taken hold of the programs of successive governments, that with the reasonable and well-intentioned ambition to contain obnoxious elements in society, has created a society of an extraordinarily authoritarian and controlling nature. That is what you might call the new intolerance, a new but intense desire to gag uncomfortable voices of dissent. I am not intolerant, say many people, say many softly spoken, highly educated, liberal-minded people. I'm only intolerant of intolerance. And people tend to nod sagely and say, oh yes, wise words, wise words. And yet if you think about this supposedly inarguable statement for longer than 5 seconds, you realize that all it is advocating is the replacement of one kind of intolerance with another, which to me doesn't represent any kind of progress at all. Underlying prejudices, injustices, or resentments are not addressed by arresting people. They are addressed by the issues being aired, argued, and dealt with, preferably outside the legal process. For me, the best way to increase society's resistance to insulting or offensive speech is to allow a lot more of it. As with childhood diseases, you can better resist those germs to which you have been exposed. We need to build our immunity to taking offence so that we can deal with the issues that perfectly justified criticism can raise. Our priority should be to deal with the message, not the messenger. As President Obama said in an address to the United Nations only a month or so ago, laudable efforts to restrict speech can become a tool to silence critics or oppress minorities. The strongest weapon against hateful speech is not repression, it is more speech. And that's the essence of my thesis, more speech. If we want a robust society, we need more robust dialogue, and that must include the right to insult or to offend. And even if, as Lord Dear says, the freedom to be inoffensive is no freedom at all. The repeal of this word in this clause will be only a small step, but it will, I hope, be a critical one in what should be a longer-term project to pause and slowly rewind a creeping culture of censoriousness. It is a small skirmish in the battle, in my opinion, to deal with what Sir Salman Rushdie refers to as the outrage industry. Self-appointed arbiters of the public good, encouraging media-stoked outrage to which the police feel under terrible pressure to react. A newspaper rings up Scotland Yard. Someone has said something slightly insulting on Twitter about someone who we think a national treasure. What are you going to do about it? And the police panic and they scrabble around and then grasp the most inappropriate lifeline of all, Section 5 of the Public Order Act, that thing where you can arrest anybody for saying anything that might be construed by anyone else as insulting. They don't seem to need a real victim. They need only to make the judgment that somebody could have been offended if they had heard or read what has been said. The most ludicrous degree of latitude. The storms that surround Twitter and Facebook comment have raised some fascinating issues about free speech, which we haven't really yet come to terms with. Firstly, that we all have to take responsibility for what we say, which is quite a good lesson to learn. But secondly, we've learned how appallingly prickly and intolerant society has become of even the mildest adverse comment. The law should not be aiding and abetting this new intolerance. Free speech can only suffer if the law prevents us from dealing with its consequences. I offer my wholehearted support to the Reform Section 5 campaign. Thank you very much.
I'm just like a real DJ. I'm nothing like a real DJ. I was once. Used to do the old desk and everything. That's too much trouble now, isn't it? Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy Sunday. I thought I'd better do one of these. Oh, look at me again, all red-faced and squinty because I've had a hot bath. I just had a mouthful of peanuts as well because I was hungry. They're probably, fucking hell. Does it matter now? Like, am I ever going to be criticised for not looking good now? Oh, fuck. That's why I don't have to worry about the paparazzi. They're never going to get a picture of me looking worse than I want to, really. Anyway, right, loads of questions, can't get through all of them. You wake up with a special power that allows you to inflict a minor but very annoying inconvenience on anybody you don't like. What would it be? That's a good one, that, isn't it? That's a really good one. So it can't be horrible, it can't be agony or something. My first one was, like, if someone annoyed me, they suddenly go, oh fuck, I've shot myself. That would be an amazing superpower, wouldn't it? If someone have an argument with someone, they're going, you don't fucking talk to me like that, and you just go, and I go, I'll fucking shut myself. That is my superpower. I haven't, you see, if ever was a wish that a genie gave you a wish, you'd think about it, wouldn't you? You'd go, give me 24 hours. You'd have a meeting, you consult people, what's the best wish? I just came up with that without any thought, and I still don't think I'd regret it. Just see someone running down the road, holding their arse, diarrhea going everywhere. I go, he must have had an argument with Ricky Gervais. Right, there you go. That's my superpower. Keena, here's a philosophical question. What's your take on the existence of a soul and consciousness? Well, consciousness that exists, doesn't it? That's an epiphenomenon. That's a feeling we have. That's an upshot of all our brain events. It's because we have a brain. It's still materialist in the sense that we don't know really what it does. It's like that's why I call it an epiphenomenon, but it's a thought. Whereas a soul, I think, is something slightly more metaphysical, spiritual, hopeful. I don't know we have a soul in the sense that, I think the difference is, people mean a soul when they think it's something that's part of you that could exist without you being alive, which I don't believe in, obviously. I treat it like consciousness, really. You are who you are, and that dies with you. Like, I don't think your consciousness goes on after your brain's frazzled. Some people do. I've no evidence of that. I could be proved wrong. There could just be loads of consciousness floating around going, well, we're here. You can't hear us. Like, I don't believe you. Well, fucking think. But they can't do anything. So I don't believe anything can exist without our physical live body, so to speak. And sometimes people mean a good soul, mean they're just a good person. They've got a good outlook, morality. They're nice, they're decent. But can anything of you exist after you die, apart from your memory and your legacy? I don't think so. But I could be wrong. Julia, how do you find British winters? Yeah, I hate them. Would you and Jane and Pickle ever move abroad? I mean, I've got no plans to. I'd never say never. There's no reason I wouldn't. And I love England. I love visiting loads of countries. Now, there's countries I can imagine living in. I can imagine living in loads of countries. And the winters would, unless something really, really bad happens and, society goes to hell and we have to get out, I can't imagine being bothered to move out of England. But that's the time I think about it. In January and February when it's raining. When I get up and it's just raining and I can't even go for a walk, I go, fucking hell. Fucking England. Fuck's sake. Yeah, I don't mind winters. I don't mind if it's -10, if it's dry and I can still get about. You know, loads of nice countries that are crispy and sunny and covered in snow and -10. Just this drizzle. Just when you wake up and it's like you're in a fucking cloud. Sort of literally and metaphorically. It's just depressing, isn't it? But most of the time, it's alright, isn't it? Jeannie, being so famous, does the paparazzi follow you around everywhere you go in your area? No, I don't think so. They're always there, but they don't really bother me.
Love you, Ricky.
Hi.
Hey, you were hilarious on Ellen the other day.
Oh, thank you. That's always good fun, isn't it?
Yes.
No, no, look, be careful. Be careful.
Shit.
Oh, Jesus. Listen. Any soundbite I might have is not worth giving yourself.
Yes, it is.
Listen, stand still, do it. And then I'm going to go and run it, but I don't want you to hurt yourselves.
Okay.
Sure. Do you want to take photos, say?
When you're done with them, I don't want to get...
Okay, no, I'm done with them.
Okay.
Cheers.
Thank you, Rick.
Very first.
Oh, I don't know what order it's in. Don't go with me, you'll hurt yourself.
Thank you, Ricky.
Thank you, Ricky.
Thanks.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not that sort of bloke, am I really? They get me sometimes when there's probably no one better to, and I don't see them. I often see a picture, what the fuck was that taken? I look at what I'm wearing, I go, that's no clue, is it? What I'm wearing. I don't know. Could be any day. They'll think, oh, why are they fucking taking that? But they're out there. But no, they don't really bother me. They don't bother me because I don't see them. They don't chase me down the street or anything, like a boy band. And I think they know there's no story. Ricky Gervais wearing black, looking a bit fat. Yeah, we know. Let's use last year's photo. James Willoughby Oliver. Would you rather be constantly sticky or constantly itchy? That's a good one. I hate sort of both, really. If I've eaten an orange or something, I've got to wash my hands straight away. But itchy's bad, isn't it? I mean, itchy is that's like a condition, isn't it? That's got to be slightly more annoying than being sticky, isn't it? It's all part of me. Is everything sticky? I suppose so. Yeah, that would be horrible. Itchy. I mean, you can scratch an itch, but then again, is everything? Am I scratching all the fucking time? I think sticky, you just go deal with it. I mean, itchy is like, it's annoying, isn't it? George Clooney wouldn't give you the fucking time of day with these questions. Do you know what I mean? Like, I sit down here, hot, red, fat, tired, frozen shoulder, and I really think about these answers. Now, Lionel Lemon. See what I mean? Imagine that. Imagine, I don't know, Ryan Reynolds. He probably would answer him. Do you have a title for your show yet. Oh yeah. And are you still enjoying the new material nights? And Sue asked her a question. And then she says, are you going to do any out of London? I plan to. First of all, I've got a title I'm thinking about. I keep going between one or two and then think of another one. But I think I've got a title that's sort of, it's good. It's one word. It annoys some people. Yeah, not sure yet. And I'm loving them. It's my favourite bit. I'd quite happily do new material nights forever. Just never finish it. Just do new stuff it's such a joy to go out, 400 people scramble to get a ticket. It's cheap. It's like 17 quid at the moment. They see me do like 40. They see 3 other comics do 10. It's like the best new material night in the world, and it's great. You just, comedically, it's great because it's great when it's finished and you're playing arenas and it's honed and it's perfect. But it's something nice about it being different every night and trying stuff out that you deep down will never make it, or maybe it will. I've thought that before, and it has made it. So yeah, I'm loving it. It's great. Will I do some out of London? I plan to, but the thing is, if you go out of London and suddenly you're paying for everyone's rail fares and everyone's, hotel bills, particularly mine, that's a lot of money to play a little venue for new material night, and it defeats the object. If I'm suddenly charging them 40 quid for new material nights, I could lose money, I guess, but that's mad, isn't it? So it's sort of, there's a balance, but it's nice to get out, and I can do warm-ups in bigger places, I suppose. I think when I go out of town, it might be a little bit bigger to cover costs and still keep the ticket price cheap. Mr. T the Taco. I mean, seriously, would Jerry Seinfeld entertain this nonsense? As a man who has accomplished so much, I like him. What is there left for you to accomplish besides being knighted, losing weight, and buying some friends from Miss Jane Fallon? I don't know. It's quite an achievement just to still be working. I sort of appreciate that. Be sort of semi-healthy and working. And you've never nailed it. You've never nailed stand-up. There's always something that hasn't been done, or some way you can go, or some way to improve it, or, that's true of anything. What's that quote? An education is never finished. So I feel like that. And I like my new sort of business ventures, like, Dutch Barn Vodka and Cano Water. That's fun. Trying to break that, trying to get that a global brand. That's still fun. And, there's something creative there. I do the adverts. That's real fun. That feels like content to me. And I just so happen to own the company as well. There's not many things that I think, I want to achieve that. But everything I do, I want it to be a success. I even thought of doing this for Spotify. I was talking to Spotify. They wanted me to do a show. And I thought I could do this for them. Think how shoddy this is. Imagine them taking this. Be good, wouldn't it? Half hour. Then you could do it as tracks, like each question. They could do a playlist, like all the times Ricky answered a stuffed fucking toy, or all the times Ricky talked about whether he'd rather have fucking lobster claws or elephant anus. I'm not selling it very well. And I'd like $50 million, and I'll do one of these a week for Spotify. No, that's too many. One a month. I do a calculation. How long is he going to live? They go, fuck, it's not worth it. That's not fucking worth it. Oh, God. Monsieur Dougal. Another dog. What the hell is a tuffet, and who in their right mind would sit on one? That's a good question. I've always thought that. Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet. Well, I know what a tuffet is. It's like a sort of a mound of grass, right? Like a tiny little hillock that's perfect to sit on. But what annoys me about that is they called her fucking Muffet just to rhyme with that stupid fucking word. Who's called Muffet? Should be the who the fuck is called Muffet? They always know, don't they? Little Jack Horner sat in a corner. You've called him Horner because the little cunt's in a corner. Admit it. Hubbard. Old Mother Hubbard. Oh, where did she go? Oh, I wonder. The fucking cupboard. Jack Sprat. Who's called Sprat? Maybe that is his name. Maybe it isn't. Georgie Porgy. Hold on. That doesn't even fucking rhyme with anything. Georgie Porgy, pudding pie, kiss the girls away. They could have called any... That's fucking... Georgie fucking Porgy. But good point, Monsieur Dougal. Ollie Afterlife. Oh, God. Just read Determined by Dr. Robert Sapolsky, who eminently argues that free will is an illusion. Yeah. Because everything, even behaviour, every thought, every emotion, derives from what went before. I agree. Determinism, yeah. If that is true, no one is accountable for their actions. Yeah, that's true. But then the quantum leap people make is, well, if no one's responsible for their actions, everyone should be able to do anything they want. That's not true. Because a bear isn't responsible for its actions, is it? If a bear, if you're in the wild and you go up to a bear and whack it and it eats you, that's not responsible. It's a bear. That's why it does that. So we act accordingly. We stay away from bears. So it doesn't mean that anyone, because they're not responsible, you can't just let a serial killer run around because he wants to. We have to do something to protect other people, because we've invented human rights. But yeah, it's a hell of an illusion though, free will. I mean, you can't get around it. It's impossible to imagine that you haven't got free will. Because it's not whether you can make a choice, because everyone feels they can make a choice. Lift your right arm up or your left arm up. That one. But it's you couldn't choose your choice, because you couldn't even choose the question. You couldn't choose the bit before. You couldn't choose cause and effect. So you can't choose. We're sort of like vessels. But that doesn't mean that morality doesn't exist, because that's the thing we've created and we like, because we feel that we want to live. I mean, even creativity. You can't sit down and go, right, I'm gonna write a joke about. You can't choose your thoughts. But what you can do is go, right, I'm not going to answer the fucking door. I'm going to put headphones in. I'm going to go for a run. I'm going to make myself an available vessel for an idea. Good question, that. Mel, if you go back in time to any concert, who would it be to watch? That's a good one. I'm always worried about that. It's like, is it someone that I'd absolutely love and I missed? Or is it sort of being part of history? Because there's people that I don't love now, but I think, I'd be amazing to see, the first Elvis concert or whatever. So it might not necessarily be your favourite person. I mean, things that are historic, you'd want to know why was it historic, like Woodstock, or a tricky one, that, isn't it? Or Bowie's concert when he said he was killing off Ziggy Stardust, or Dylan when he went electric. Oh, there's so many. Oh, there's so many. Oh my God. Sex Pistols. Who would it be? Oh, that's so tricky. I keep thinking of things like Beatles and Elvis just because it's Beatles and Elvis Comeback concert. Although I can watch that, can't I? But it's being there, isn't it? I always think that about those sort of things. Like we go back in time and witness that. But in real time, it might be like, I always think those scientific ones, like, I think I've talked about this before, like when Einstein came up with E equals MC squared. But he probably did that over months. I'm sort of like an invisible ghost in his study, am I, when he's fucking there for days. He's going E equals, I'm going MC fucking squared, but he can't hear me. And he has a little wank break. I'm going, fucking hell. Fuck's sake. Oh God. Einstein, he probably had to, you know what I mean? It's going, oh, I've been fucking thinking all day. Have a little bit of me time. Oh God. Right. George Clooney definitely wouldn't talk about Einstein having a little wank between E equals MC squared. Right. Oh, Jenna, is there a place you'd really like to perform that you haven't yet? Oh, yeah. Well, you know, countries in general I haven't been to. Australia's the most obvious one, I guess, which is the furthest one away as well, isn't it? One day. I've only done Europe and North America. I haven't done Asia, Africa, South America. South America, I think of Argentina. Argentina, I've heard, is such a cool place. And I've got a bit of profile in South America, because I think because of Netflix. I've got a little bit of profile everywhere, probably. It's just me being lazy. There's only so many days I can gig anyway. You know what I mean? So, one day though. It is pure, oh, it's a long way, isn't it? I could take a private jet to anywhere I like in the world. And I go, it's a long way, isn't it? Yeah, Argentina, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? It's too far. Too far that way and down, isn't it? Someone said I'd love Japan because everyone's so quiet and restaurants are silent. That'd be amazing. Imagine going all that way just because restaurants are quiet. Rachel, have you ever painted or wallpapered anything in your life? That's worded like an accusation, isn't it? I can hear the attitude in that. Because it's not, have you ever painted or wallpapered anything in your life? It's, have you ever painted or wallpapered anything in your life? It's that, isn't it? I painted the walls and stuff. Don't think I've wallpapered anything. I used to watch my mum up on a rickety ladder. Be like, careful, mum. Oh God. Exercise books. We used to wallpaper our exercise books. Do they still do that? Why do we do that? I think it's so, because everyone writes fucking twat and knob and Mr. fucking Campbell is a twat, and then they wallpaper it. So if you write on the wallpaper, they can go, right, wallpaper over that. Well, they can't do that. Yeah. Yes, they could. Just make the people who don't want to write knob and bollocks all over there. Anyway, yes. I don't even know if I did those. I think my mum did them for me. Everyone had them. Just wallpapered exercise books. That is so weird. Why? You could tell people's decor in their house from their exercise books. All mine were like off-white anaglypta or that fake wood. I remember it. Oh, that's good, because you probably can't, because it was shiny as well, the fake wood. So you probably couldn't write on that so easy. But I remember the anaglypta. Is that what it is? The sort of like, is it knobbly? What's that stuff that's like knobbly? It's got like air bubbles. Or is that fake wood chip? One of them. Fucking hell, this was a load of bollocks, wasn't it? This is like, I don't know. Like being in a mental home. No offence. Right, there you go. That's another load of bollocks. I hope you enjoyed that. There's can of water. Buy can of water. That's quite a serious thing actually, because they're made from aluminium, so it's 100% recyclable, and we're trying to stop people use plastic bottles. Not only do you get loads of fucking nano plastics in your fucking brain, right, but people, they don't recycle it, they throw it in the oceans and it's clogging it up. Whereas this is 100% recyclable and sort of inert and everything. So, yeah, buy a can of water. And Dutch Barn. Cheers everyone. Be nice to animals. Tatty bye. Tatty bye.